Okay, so here we go then. Yep, it's the way. Oh, it's going to the safety car. Yeah, good decision, good decision. Okay, so here we go then. Are we going to do some laps under the safety car, or are we... Wait, what? What do you mean red flag? You've only done one lap, and you're all on intermediates. What? Why? What? Oh, I flipping give up. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video, and yes, we've just had the Belgium Grand Prix from the Spa Frankie Champ circuit, and what can we say about that one? That was a definite 4 out of 10 race. Absolutely a bore fest, it has to be said. There was just nothing going on whatsoever. I was glad when it was over. I fell asleep for about 3 laps, I think, something like that, and that was highlights, so it's probably about 6 laps, but oh my goodness, it was just boring. And it's time for a rant now. All you Rant fans, it's time for a rant. The title of this video says about the FIA nannying Formula 1, and that's exactly what they're doing once again. Now, the problem is, since they changed the rules, they've now got a 3-hour time limit, whereas before they had a 2-hour time limit. But now with 3 hours, it's like, oh, it's all right, just leave it for a bit, and then we'll start. That's the attitude now, because they've got that extra hour. They're just like, no, it'll be all right, be fine. So they red flagged the race due to visibility. Well, of course the visibility is going to be chuffing bad. It's pissing down with rain, isn't it? What? But they were on intermediates. Why didn't they go on to full wets? As we know, full wets would clear the track even faster. So why didn't we get some laps under the safety car? I know, 8, 9, maybe 10 laps under the safety car. Then decide to themselves, okay, it's too wet. So they could have come in. And then, after it had dried out, we could have a lovely little battle with just a one stop in it of about, I don't know, 30 odd laps in it. That would have been so much better than the absolute bore fest that we got just because it was dry. What is going on here? What is going on? Wet weather driving is supposed to be the mark of excellence in a Formula 1 driver. If you can drive in the wet very, very well indeed, Michael Schumacher, then you are classed as one of the great... But the FIA, they're not even giving them the opportunity. Because as soon as a couple of little drops come down, it's... Oh, no, stop the race. They were on intermediate tyres, for cock's sake. Not even on full wets. That's what I... And then, of course, one of the commentators said, oh, they're not stopping the race because they're on intermediates. It's because of visibility. It's just absolutely crazy. Like everything else in the world right now, it's just nannying on top of nannying on top of nannying. They should have just run the race under the safety car, obviously, because it was very, very wet, and done about 10 or 11 laps, and then decided then, okay, we're going to come in. Not one single solitary lap, and then red flag it. So that's it. I mean, for cock's sake, they got every single team out on that track, which takes a hell of a lot to do. Anyway, they got every single car to come out onto that track in a fucking conga line for one lap. Then they said, oh, that's it, red flag it. What a waste of bloody time. Honestly, what a waste of time. Surely they could have sent the safety car out to have a look and see what the visibility was like. They didn't have to send all 20 cars out for one chuffy lap, did they? Oh my God. You can tell with this and the online act in the UK, I'm not doing very well right now. I'm a little bit pissed off. Jesus. FIA, FOM, whatever you want to call them. What the fuck are you doing? Seriously. You're just, I mean, the sport's in a bad enough state as it is with Red Bull and everything else, but you're just dragging it down to just, oh, my God. Anyway, let's move on, everyone. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. Let's move on to the race. At least we got that. So the race started, a safety car aborted the race, and the race did finally start 1 hour and 20 minutes later. I would like to say I feel very, very sorry for everyone who watched it live. They had to wait for 1 hour and 20 minutes. Of course, with the highlights, you don't do that. They just put an advert break in and they start the race. But yes, I'm very, very sorry you had to wait 1 hour and 20 minutes just for the race to start. Anyway, and your reward for waiting for 1 hour and 20 minutes was an absolute bore fest from start to finish. Oh my God. I don't think I've ever seen a race that bad for a very, very long time. Maybe in 2024 where Max was dominating, there was a few of those that everyone was getting thoroughly pissed off. But I don't think since then I've seen one that bad. It was just from the start until the finish, it was boring. I can't even recommend anything happening during the race. Even the overtakes, I was falling asleep for. I can't be bothered. Anyway, so on lap 4, the race had started and Norris held on to the lead. Yes, and then Oscar takes the lead on lap 5 with, I have to say, a great move. In the very, very wet conditions, it was a great move. And unfortunately, that means that once again, Lando Norris has bottled it. Yes, he's bottled it. He's now Master Chief Bottle Job 2025, 2024, 2023, 2022, 2019. Yes, 19. Is that? I think he started in 19. I think I remember him in 19. F1 2019. Yes, he is Master Chief Bottle Job anyway. Definitely is Mr. Lando Norris, because he was schooled completely by Oscar's pastry. Absolutely schooled. And that's more points he's lost now for his championship campaign. So that's not going to be good when it gets to later on in the season, of course. So on lap 6, we had George of the Where's My Bloody Contract, Toto Wolff, for next year, you bummer, who took 5th position off Alexander Albon. Then on lap 8, Lewis Hamilton went up to 16th place. And I'd like to say a special congratulations to Lewis Hamilton. He did very, very well in that race. He shouldn't have been as low down as he was. That was all Lewis Hamilton's fault, no one else's. But I have to say, the recovery drive from Lewis Hamilton was fantastic. And it reminded me of Lewis Hamilton of old, going back to his McLaren days. It just really was. And his F2 days as well, I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah, it's just before he came into F1. I remember that race when he spun or something and ended up right at the back, and he just stormed through the field. Absolutely stormed through the field. And so it reminded me of that. So well done to Lewis. And on lap 9, just one lap later, he then got up to 14th place. Yes, 14th position for Lulu. So he was doing very well. So the race positions on lap 10 was in first position, Oscar's pastry. Second place was Norris. Third position was Charles Leclerc. Fourth was Verstappen. Fifth was George and Russell. And sixth was Alexander Albon. Now, that's my first page of notes done. I've only got half a page left, everyone, so that sort of tells you exactly how great that race was. I had one a few weeks ago. I had about 6 pages. Yeah, 6 pages. But I've only got half a page left now. Anyway, let's continue. On lap 12, Hamilton did a masterstroke. Unfortunately, everyone copied him. But he came in and he pitted for the slick tyres. So, fantastic. See, now, let's work that out. So on lap 12, he came in for the slick tyres. 1 hour later, it was the day of the start. And so you've then got hour and 20 minutes plus 12 laps. What's that? Another 20 odd minutes, something like that. So it's about 1 hour 40, something like that. I don't know. So if they'd have gone round at the start for about 12 laps and then come in and had that 1 hour and 20 minute break, then the race would have resumed and it would only have lasted about another hour, and they'd probably finished about the same time as what they did finish. Yes, but there you go. That's just my opinion. And then, unfortunately, other cars also, as I say, followed him in 4 slicks as well. Then on lap 12, the race leader, Oscar's pastry, pits as well, and then loads of other cars have pitted as well. On to lap 23 now, and the scores on the doors were Piastri in first, Norris in second, Leclerc in third, Verstappen in fourth, Russell in fifth, and Albon in sixth. Then on to lap 30, yes, and yes, I've got nothing else here in my notes. Yes, apart from the race positions on lap 30, and I'm not going to read them out again because I think they're exactly the same. Yes, lap 23 to lap 30, exactly the same people were in the same positions. That's it. And then that's it. After lap 30, I've got nothing else. I've got race over. Race over. So the winner was Oscar's pastry, Lando Norris, Charles Leclerc, Maxi Boy Verstappen finishing fourth. I think that was a great result actually from Max. Considering everything that's going on at Red Bull, anyone who was expecting a huge decline in quality, well, I don't think that's going to happen yet anyway, because obviously Red Bull are an established outfit, so if there's any drop off in quality, it's going to happen very, very slowly. It's going to filter down very, very slow. Could take years, in fact, for it to actually filter down into sitting at the back with whoever's at the back in a couple of years' time. Probably be Williams, to be fair. I don't know, but could be the Hussies, but whoever. So that could take a couple of years. So yeah, a great result, I think, for Maxi Boy Verstappen. And then we had George at the Russell in 5th position and Alexander Albon in 6th place. In fact, it's the same people who were still in those positions on lap 23. So that just tells you how boring the race was, because no one swapped positions. And in 7th place, I give a special mention to Sir Lulu Hamilton, for finish in 7th place from 16th on the grid. That was a very good, decent drive from Lulu. We got to, of course, mention, of course, Charles Leclerc as well, because he finished in 3rd place in the sister Ferrari. He did very, very well indeed to Charles Leclerc, so well done to him. Now, of course, Lando Norris, we saw him make one little mistake, not too bad, lost about a second, but it still wasn't enough. Of course, he went onto the hard tyres, a very, very late decision. Everyone else went onto the medium tyres, and the thinking was that tyre wasn't going to last until the end, but unfortunately it did last until the end. It wasn't as good as the hard tyre because Lando Norris was catching, but unfortunately there was still about a 3-second gap, I do believe, at the end of the race. So it was all to nothing, unfortunately, for Lando Norris. But as I say, both the Ferraris did very, very well indeed. And that's about it that you can say about the Belgium Grand Prix. Yes. Well, I can say it was definitely better than 2021, but that's because I only did 3 laps. So, yeah, I mean, it was a full race, so you can give it that. But honestly, I would have preferred for them to have gone out in the wet conditions. Now, before you start having a go at me, I know about Anton Hubert, okay? But that was an accident. You could say it was a freak accident, in fact. And the chance of that happening again are very, very slim. You've also got to think of the fact that Spa, very, very wide circuit, lots of runoff areas, and also if they'd have been on the full wet tyres, they would have been going a lot slower anyway. I don't know what the top speed is on full wets. If they're 215 at full chat, I would probably say it's only going to be about 150 miles an hour. So that they would be all going a lot slower on the full wets anyway. But they didn't even have the opportunity to try, did they? Because FIA said, nope, we are cancelling the race after just because we got 3 hours. We got 3. Why rush? Why rush? We can have some sandwiches now and sit up and put our feet up on the desk. Yes, like we're back at school and say, no, we're all right. We'll just leave it for a bit. And that's exactly what they did. And we ended up with a bore fest. As I say, I would have preferred to have had some racing in the wet. Yes, of course some cars would have gone off. But that's what Formula 1 is all about, you know. It's not just racing in the dry. It's racing in the wet as well. Is this Formula 1 or are we ending up like IndyCar and Champ Car when they don't run when it's wet and they actually start running the next day on a Monday? Are we going to have Formula 1 races on a Monday soon because it's raining? It just drives me crazy. It just drives me crazy. Every time I see decisions like this, I just look up to the sky and say, God bless you, Murray. Because if he's looking down at what's going on in foot, he must be shaking his head. And I don't blame him. Because I'm shaking my head. He must be really shaking his head because it's just ridiculous. It really is. Just run the bloody race, for cock's sake. Just run it. Yes, it's raining. Yes, we know. I don't know about Spa in 1998, but, you know, we could have had a Spa. We could have had an accident like that in the race that we just had. As far as I can remember, no one had any injuries. I think a couple of people had a few cuts on their arms or whatever, wasn't it? But no one had any injuries during that horrendous pile-up at Spa. Yeah, we could have had something like that because it was raining. And that's what happens in the rain. But the FIA doesn't even give them an opportunity. No. It's too wet to go out, children. It's too wet. I'm calling it now. No, you'll have to come and play inside for an hour until it dries out. And then you can go outside. Yes, and play. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. As was it Murtaugh in Lethal Weapon said, I'm too old for this shit. And I really am. I'm too old for this shit. It's just absolutely crazy. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, everyone. That was the Belgian Grand Prix. And before we go, of course, we've got to get to our favourite part of the show. And, of course, it's the points position. So let's do that right now. So here are the driver standings after the Belgian Grand Prix. Currently in the lead with 266 points is Oscar's Pastry. Yeah, 16 points clear now of Lando Norris in second place. You see that? I math then. Yes, I did math. Yes, that's very complicated for me to do math. With 250 points in second position. In third place right now, it's Max Verstappen with 185 points in the Red Bull racing car, of course. In fourth position, it's George. I still haven't got no bloody contract yet. In 157 points he's got in the Mercedes. In fifth position, it's Charles Leclerc in the first of the Ferraris with 139 points. And in sixth position, it's Lulu Hamilton. I mean, you know, say what you like about Lulu. He's only, 20 points behind Charles Leclerc. I don't think that's too bad. I remember at the start of the season, I was predicting Lewis Hamilton was going to be finishing 12th every race and that Charles was going to absolutely pee all over him. Well, he hasn't done that because there's only a 20-point gap. Let's face it, he hasn't done that. So all's well in the Ferrari camp at the moment. They just need a little bit more performance, I feel, and then they could be up there fighting with the, at least with the Red Bull. I don't think they're going to fight with the McLarens, but at least with the Red Bull. The single Red Bull, of course, because the other one is nowhere near. So in seventh place, it's Kimi Antonelli in the Mercedes with 63 points. Now look at that deficit between Lewis Hamilton and Kimi Antonelli, 63, 109. A huge gap there, a huge gap. That's about 3 race wins of a gap there, isn't it? I think, something like that anyway. Huge gap. So there you go. And in 8th position currently is Alexander Albon. As I say, he's doing bloody well in that Williams. A lot better than his teammate is anyway. 54 points for Alexander Albon. And in 9th position, it's super sub Nico Hulkenberg. Yes, with 37 points in that Kick Me Up the Arse Sauber. Sadly, no points for Nico in Belgium. But of course, you know, it's a very, very fast circuit and you need a fast car, which of course we all know that Kick Sauber isn't. On the tights and twisties, I think it's a very good car, just not on the fast circuits. In 10th position, we've got Esti Besti in the Haas with 27 points. 11th place for Isaac Azure with 22 points. And in 12th position, we have Pierre Gasly with 20 points in the first of the Alpines. Yes, I'm quite surprised he's even got 20 points, to be honest, in an Alpine, but there you go. In 13th place right now, it's Lance Stroll with 20 points. He's had that 20 points for a very long time now as Lance Stroll. He hasn't scored a point for ages, I'm sure he hasn't. I just seem to keep remembering 20 points for Lance Stroll. In 14th place, it's Liam Lawson in the Racing Bulls with 16 points, of course. Not doing very well. Fernando Alonso, 16 points. In the Aston Martin, of course. He's got some points. In fact, he's level with Carlos Sainz in the Williams, who's really having a terrible season at Williams, as to be said. I mean, this is a Ferrari race winner, don't forget. Carlos Sainz, Ferrari race winner, and he's doing absolute, you've got to say, rubbish, to be honest. Rubbish in that Williams. But this happens, unfortunately, in motorsport. You're in one team and you're competitive. You go and move into another one, which maybe isn't as competitive, and things just start to go to pieces. Anyway, 17th place is Yuki Tsunoda with 10 points in that Red Bull racing car, the sister car, of course. How long will Yuki be in that car? I've been a great supporter of Yuki Tsunoda, but I've got to say, he's just not doing enough right now, and he really isn't. So I think they'll possibly keep him till the end of the year, because I don't think they want to start messing around with drivers now. I think they've just had enough with moving them around. So yeah, I think he'll probably stay until the end, but for next year I don't think he's going to be driving the number 2 Red Bull car, because this is just hurting them in the constructors. McLaren have already got the constructors all bar the shouting. I mean, nobody's going to catch McLaren in the constructors, but this is hurting them by only having one driver scoring points. It really is. Oliver Behrman's in 18th place in the Haas with 8 points at the moment. Gabriel Bortoletto, yes, he got some points at last, hasn't he? Yes. Oh my goodness. Or did he have points before? I can't remember. Anyway, he's got 6 points in the Keep Me Up the Arse Sauber. And bringing up the rear, of course, we've got Franco Colapinto. How much longer is he going to be in that Alpine? No idea, but he's got 0 points at the moment. And of course, last place goes to Jack Doohan, who's no longer in Formula One in a driving capacity. Of course, he's still the reserve driver at Alpine. So there you go. Those are the current driver standings as we go into the next race, which is only 7 days away. Fantastic. I can't wait. I just hope that it's a lot bloody better than this Belgian Grand Prix. I mean, I love Spa Frankie Champs, but I'm sorry, I was robbed. You was robbed. Everyone was robbed. Yeah, I know that wasn't proper English, but I don't care. Yes, everyone was robbed because Spa is a great circuit. It really is. And it can produce fantastic races, but that was goddamn bloody awful. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, everyone. You have been awesome as always. And as always, let me know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to tell me if I'm a complete plum and you thought the race was brilliant, because I always love to hear those opinions. If you say that, I'm going to block you, but no, not really. But yeah, just say what you like. Personally, I don't think anyone's going to come out and say, no, you're dead wrong, Dave. That race was exciting. No, nobody's going to say that. But anyway, tell me what you think in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. I'll catch you in the next video.